We're live, baby.
I wanted to save your eyes, but I was stuck in the past. Mess me up, I wanted to hurt. Just give me something to love. You say yes, and you don't make waves. I want to say no, and I try. I don't know how to waste another life.
Hi, everybody. This is Hig.
Uh-oh, did we lose Iggy?
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What happened, brother?
I don't know, bro.
Sign out and sign back in. How's everybody doing? We're on No More Heroin Live. We got Adam Lee here from Sundae Drives. This is my dude right here. One of the greatest bands to come out of Cincinnati, Ohio. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. No complaints. The best that the best I can be, man. Blessings to you and yours, man. Everything good or what?
Everything's really good. You know, Higgy and I just did a live a little bit ago with Max. That was great.
Incredible.
I think we're still live. We're missing Higgy. And,
Okay.
and it says we're live a minute and a half, so we're gonna get him back. So you're gonna share your story tonight, man.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, man. I feel like that's being proactive, you know, and yeah, I'm super into these formats and kind of what these groups represent, like the power in numbers in recovery culture, and you know what I mean. There's a very communal thing to it, man. So yeah, I'm all about it.
Awesome, brother. So there he is.
Hey,
You're back. You freaked us out there for a minute. We thought we lost you forever.
now I'm not. You hear that?
Yeah.
Crap.
What do you got there? What's your mug say? Oh. So while we're waiting for Higgy to get things together, he's losing it a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your the band Sundae Drives. What you guys got going on here in town?
We're an indie R&B kind of indie soul acoustic driven duo out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Just two cats making music, making
Incredible music, by the way. Everybody out there
appreciate
watching, please get out there and check out Sundae Drives. Check out their page. Incredible band. You said it's just two of you, but you guys put a heck of a show on.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Can't say enough good things about you.
Gritty, soulful, truthful R&B tunes, man, from two dudes, man. So yeah.
So gosh.
Hey Higgy, do you have some headphones you can throw in? Grab some headphones. I think that'll help. It's your mic coming back into it. So Adam, you're going to share your story tonight.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty gripping story.
Check.
I've heard it a few times now, and it's amazing, honestly.
Thank
you.
You.
And it starts pretty young for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about let's go ahead and let's dive into your story while Higgy gets his headphones in here.
Sure.
And we'll take a little bit of break after you kind of dig in.
Yeah.
And we'll play one of your music videos that we got so people can hear that. So yeah, man.
Yeah. So I feel like we could probably just start I think probably, I share this in common with, a lot of other folks, but I come from a broken home. Not in the sense of, I was never physically abused or, I saw my fair share of violence in the home and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. But drugs and alcohol, though, and seeing the effects that it has on people. I mean, I have pretty treacherous memories from maybe as far back as, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old.
I can relate. I've got that trauma too.
Right on. Everything good? Oh, okay, right. Yeah. So, yeah. So, by the time I was, even as early as like maybe 10, 11, 12, that lifestyle was normalized to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't, I know it's a taboo thing, but I'm saying I had already seen, by that early age, I had already seen drug addiction, alcoholism, and all of the crazy shit in between, all of the effects from right there in the home. You know what I'm saying?
From family members.
Yeah. My dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict, heavy narcotics, and my mother was an alcoholic. And she did the best that she could with us. My dad was in and out of our lives a lot. But I think when I first started experimenting, maybe around 12 or 13, even then, seeing hard drugs and being around hard drugs was already, like I said, it was pretty normalized to me. So I had quickly found out that I didn't love smoking weed. I didn't love drinking alcohol.
It wasn't enough for you.
It wasn't my thing. Yeah. So right off the bat, to where that's a young age for anybody to be doing anything, but I was willing to experiment with, I knew drugs.
My voice is still echoing in.
A little bit, yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'm gonna keep quiet for most of this. Really throwing me.
Hey,
yeah, it's all good, bro.
Man, I love it. Whatever you need to do. But I had experimented enough by the time I was like 13, 14 years old to know that just drinking alcohol and smoking weed was probably not going to be my thing. And sadly, I was fearless when it came to trying other things. So, I ate my first fistful of prescription pills at 13 or 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And that quickly turned into a habit, 14, 15 years old, full on, cocaine, ecstasy, definitely, lots of opiates, lots of, prescription opiates. And by the time I was 15, this is during the Oxycontin craze.
Right.
This is going back quite a ways, but yeah, I was one of those kids. I was one of those kids, 15 years old, living in a rural kind of suburb area. Hooked on Oxycontins at 15 years old, and from there, it just progressed. And what happens when you take some little punk ass kid from the country who is I'm just a crazy little hillbilly, fearless, and you find out that you can cut costs, and you've been spending all this money on this high dollar prescription pill, and one day we realized that we could just drive downtown and cop drugs from the street for a fraction of the price.
Right.
And the world was never the same.
And this was you at 16.
16, yeah, or
Yeah.
early 16, yeah. And you know, when I look back on that, we called it the barrel. So this is back when the Over the Rhine neighborhood in Cincinnati was called Helltown. And some old heads will remember this, but you know, you used a payphone to contact your drug dealer. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you needed to. But really, 24/7, fucking Christmas morning, your drug dealer was out on the street, just standing on the street. It was called the barrel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you drove around this block, Republic, 15th Race. You know, I mean, that's what you did. And in those times, I never thought about how fucking crazy it was. But, you know, looking back, man, I was 16, 17 years old, ripping off key boys, ripping off real big time drug dealers on the street, getting all my teeth loosened out by getting fucking, you know, crushed with a gun in the side of the face, like going into fucking dark alleys, all kinds of things. And
it's crazy.
Back then, you know, I look back on that now and I just say, dude, hey, what a fucking idiot you were. You know, you're super fortunate that nothing worse ever happened to you, but it also lets you reflect on an addiction starting from an early age. You're not able to like properly gauge the depth of your addiction. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not. Yeah. It's hard to. It's only in like retrospect that you look back and you say, you're a 16-year-old kid going into dark alleys with hundreds of dollars, ripping fucking skilled drug dealers off your.
Yeah, I'd say it's even true for adults too.
For sure. Yeah.
Back, you know, because we're not, you know, bad people trying to be good. We're sick people, and we can't see how sick we really are.
It's totally it. So, and now looking back, it's like I look back and I say, dude, at 16 years old, you had a physical addiction. At 16 years old, you couldn't get through a fucking school day.
Yeah.
Without having to fix.
And that's a part of your story that I find really interesting, that you actually had places inside your high school where you would hide your kit to where you could shoot up in between classes to stay well between classes. And that's crazy to me.
Yeah. 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 So, like I said, when you're hitting it so hard, and again, this is just when you're looking back in retrospect, in the midst of it, you're not necessarily processing the depths that you're going, but looking back on it, it was nothing to go, even at 16, 17, 18 years old, it was nothing to go 150, 200, 250 days without missing a single beat.
Right.
Without missing one fix. Nothing. It was nothing. I had a good hustle hand. And like I said, I just didn't gauge it. You get sick so fast, you don't know that you're sick. You don't know how sick you are. So in high school, all I knew is that, you know, by the end of the day, I wouldn't be feeling good. So what I started doing is there was a bathroom that was you know, not as frequently used, and it was kind of an out of place bathroom. And what I would do is I would take my jump off, and I actually electric tape or duct taped it to the underneath of the back of a toilet. So that was my spot, and it stayed there for months, and it was never crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like that's how fucking, you know, that's how fast I was living. It was never crazy to me that at all times I would keep a substantial amount of dope in my high school, along with a rig to shoot up and fix up. You know what I mean? So, but when you get down the line and you process things, that's a good measure for.
Good indicator.
It's a good fucking indicator. It's a good
Right.
indicator for how fast you were moving. And one thing that I haven't got into too much, but I spoke about things being super easy. And what happens is when you're good at being an addict, that's bad. You know what I mean? Like, because what goes up must come down.
Right.
So when you're good at, when you're good at staying high and you're good at staying on your game and staying on your fix,
manipulating,
all of those things, man, all of those grimy, nasty fucking things.
Things we took pride in.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, hitting your licks, man. You know what I mean? Having multiple licks daily to make sure that you were, that you were hitting your marks and meeting your numbers for the day and everything. And I was very good at that.
I can relate to that big time. I
Right.
was good at it too. And I think a lot of us are, and that's
Yeah.
why we get so deep into the addiction.
Yeah.
Because we are good at it and we become good at it because, we're addicted.
Well, and here's something that I learned later on is that, in the midst of addiction, you lose your personality, you lose your persona and all of the things that make you special. But one thing though, that I know to be true, at least, is addiction can manipulate all of the good qualities that you have. It can use them.
Yeah.
It soaks them up. It's able to use them. So every good quality that you have, addiction can use that. You know what I mean? You're a fucking real puppet. So any good qualities that I had, you know what I mean? They were all put into play, just in the wrong type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had somehow, 17 years old, I had ended up with a girlfriend who was, she worked at a gentleman's club.
Go figure.
I thought I was cool shit. You know what I mean? You're 17 years old. Your girlfriend drives you to school every day in a nice vehicle and you're getting dropped off and your friends probably think you're cool and, whatever. But the problem is that when you're 17 years old and your girlfriend is a 21-year-old stripper, a 20-year-old stripper, she makes a lot of cash daily. So that's a lot of cash to spend. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was good at spending cash on all the wrong things. So that was just that whole era. That era was a huge, a good year and a half of that was a real descent into like what physical addiction is really about. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
When you're able to not miss a beat, you know what I mean? When you're able to not miss a beat like that and you're able to go strong. We had been in a car accident. And I won't drop her name, but we're friends to this day. She might be watching, man. We're dear friends. Like, I love her. I live with a lot of survivors, I feel guilt to this day for the places that I took her in her life. And she's such a powerful woman. She dug herself out of it. We're friends to this day. My wife is friends with her. She's a wonderful person. But we got into a car wreck, out doing mischievous shit like we would do for not days on end, just months, just literally months on end of just living as fast as you could live, 17, 18 years old. And she was a dancer. You know what I mean? She had, bro, if cash was low, we would go drive to fucking Westchester, and she would call up a few of her fucking regulars at the club and go do a private dance for them.
Make money, yeah.
And we're up a couple hundred. And it was just like, that was so easy. That little era of time was a very, it ended up being detrimental to like my psyche and how I thought, I just felt like things were supposed to move so fast paced. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it also, it didn't let me have like the, that really bummer ass feeling of being physically ill, because it didn't come around enough. I was always able to stay well. You know what I mean? So that little era was really crazy, and
well, it probably added to when it finally did come around and made it even
sure.
worse.
And like such a fucking rude awakening.
Right.
We had been driving her nice ass car, and we had, some guy had pulled out in front of us, and we trashed it, man. I mean, completely fucking totaled it. And she was a college student, fucking really good job being a dancer. I mean, honest shit though, you know what I'm saying? And like, I just fucked her whole fucking life up, man. I just destroyed it.
I think you're in company with a lot of people that have that same guilt.
Oh, it's heavy.
We've all done things, and we've all hurt people through our addictions, and so I mean, you can speak openly about that and know that you're in good company with people that have your back, and know that you're not a bad person.
I know that she forgives me. I've made amends. I would lie if I said it's not something I still don't think about from time to time, but I know that she forgives me, and you know what I mean? We've come full circle. She's, like I said, I mean, she climbed her way out without my help, you know, after I put her life into a bad position. That's what a bad motherfucker she is. She deserves a fucking interview, man. She's incredible. But she had this nice car. We trashed this car. They gave us $17,000, and we just spent it, man. We just burned it up until it was fucking nothing, until we didn't have money for fucking McDonald's, man.
Right.
And again, it was just like, fuck, I remember a sick part of me was like, thank God we totaled your car. Now we got $17,500 to just fuck off. You know what? Like, that's how
crazy.
And it's the person that I am.
That's living in an altered state of reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, you sound normal, bro. I love it.
Yeah, because
that was normal thinking for us back in our addiction.
100%. And like, it not just the person that I am today, but the person that my mother raised me to be, that my father raised me, the person that I was born to be, dude. I'm anyone that knows me can vouch me, and I'm the most selfless, very giving, very caring person. So to look back on parts of my life where I was such a just selfish monster, and it really goes against my DNA makeup, man. Like, but again, it's that reminder of how dark days can get, man. Yeah. And you know, how this game is not to be played with, man. You should never fuck with it to begin with. But the message is, it takes everything. You know what I mean? It takes everything, all the way down to every little piece of morality that you're born with this morality. It's ingrained in you. It's literally ingrained in you. Mama raised you this way, and it fucking strips you naked of it. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
It takes your soul. It takes every bit of identity that you have and turns you into, you know, just the shell of a person.
Man, I felt like a creature, man, for years.
Did you feel like you were possessed by a dark force that, you know, that was compelling you to do these things? You know, like, you didn't have a choice. You mentioned, feeling like a puppet.
Yeah. Well, so I used to do this thing, which is where the name Sundae Drives comes from. And so few people know this, man. I don't tell this story. I mean, maybe a couple people know this, but there was a period of time where I was kind of bouncing around, and I was actually experimenting with there was a lot of cocaine. There was a lot of everything happening. And H was always, that was always the main attraction. But there was a certain period of time where I was really, really strung out on just, like I said, moving fast and speedballing and mixing things and I was staying at a couple different flop houses, and I had I was running from court cases. It was a lot to think about. You pretty much, it was a full-time job to like block all the shit out that you were dealing with. Running from, you got judges in fucking 7 different counties that want your number, all kinds of things. So you're disappointing, you're not yourself. You're disappointing your friends, your family. But I would do this thing where maybe once a week I would try to just self-reflect. I mean, dude, sometimes for 10 minutes. And it sounds crazy. It sounds like a scene out of a movie, but there are times where I stood in front of a mirror and was just disgusted. Fucking disgusted. And that was my humility peeking through for just a brief second. It couldn't last very long because the physical side of withdrawal and addiction and all of those things wouldn't let it. But Sundae Drives, that derives from one day per week where you break away from the fucked up crowd that you're with and the fucked up lifestyle that you're leading, and maybe just for 5 minutes you some self-reflection, and you Sundae Drives, taking a Sunday drive by yourself and putting things in perspective. You know what I mean? So that's what it means to me. It is self-reflection and putting things into perspective, taking that lonesome Sunday drives. You know what I mean? Just even if it's for,
just to try to get in touch with yourself.
Because
your true identity.
Yeah. It sounds fucked up to say this, but in my moments of being like the most detached, I still knew. You know what I mean? I knew that I was detached. That that's the strength of addiction. That's like, you can know how detached you are and know how far gone you are, and know that you're going against everything that you stand for as a personal of your values and your morals, and still not be able to
do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Using against your will,
man.
We hear about that a lot, even every promise, that I've made to myself, I ended up breaking those over and over again. And then that leads to more, disgust, self-loathing, feelings of worthlessness. You were talking about the music that you create.
Yeah.
Reflects where you come from.
Yeah. It's I think that, there's a lot of, I was mentioning to you guys that there's a lot of music that draws inspiration from these hard times, you know what I mean? And addiction and the down and outs and the highs and the lows. Sundae Drives, it doesn't just draw inspiration from it, it's born from it. It's born from the trials and tribulations of
the horrors.
It's born from it. It's literally when I was in the joint, I would sneak out of place. I had a homie who across the yard in a completely different dorm had an acoustic guitar. Okay. So I would once a week, and this is like, think about, this is the only thing that you have to look forward to. I would sneak out of my dorm, out onto the open yard, across the open yard, into someone else's dorm, which is called being out of place. And it's a good way to get your fucking ass busted. That's, it's a good way for the guards to wreck your ass.
I'm also a formerly incarcerated person from the penal system of the state of Ohio as well.
My brother, glad to see you. Glad to see you out here on the line, out here in the real world.
Chili coffee, baby.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
It's good to meet you on the other side.
Yeah, right. And I would actually, I would go out of place once a week. This cat would let me play his guitar for like an hour. And it was timed out where I could be in there, and the guards that would be doing on this one particular shift that would be doing their walks and they're doing their head counts and stuff. The yard was open. So this guard would just be walking the dorm. It was the perfect opportunity. This guard was cool. Sundae Drives was born in that situation. It was born out of me finding little therapeutic ways to start to heal from all of my, and that was just the beginning. It didn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't, it didn't make everything A-okay. I came home and I fucked up, but I'm saying that moment, literally born out of that.
Music is medicine.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And it helped in that moment to soothe the aches and the hurt that you had inside you.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if we could play this video you guys recorded.
Sure. Yeah.
It's called Silk Flowers.
Yeah.
You want to give a lead in?
Yeah, man. So, I should have, you get nervous when you're in front of Ben in his big badass studio in front of all of his awesome toys. But I should have prefaced it a little bit better. But Silk Flowers is a song about, for a long time, I wrote from the addict's perspective. And then quite a few years, we'll just say a few years into sobriety, I started to learn how to write from not just the addict's perspective, but the people that you're affecting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then that opens up a new realm of things. Silk Flowers is a song about, and you know this person Higgy, and you know this person Ben, and everyone watching knows this person, but there's that person. I don't know if it was in high school. It might have been fucking yesterday for all I know. But there's this person that is always so apt to pass judgment on drug addicts, people that are maybe homeless, maybe just in less fortunate positions in their life. And there's always this person who was known for looking down upon that kind of shit. And then you see that person maybe a year later, maybe 10 years later, maybe a month later, and all of a sudden that person has the problem. Mm-hmm. And you're like, the person who was no nonsense, zero tolerance, passing judgment about addiction, now all of a sudden you have small pupils and you're itching your face, and maybe you're getting your fucking children taken away, or maybe and I don't call that karma. I just think it's sad, but I'm saying that's art, man. And that's what the song is about. It's about being careful about who you pass judgment on, because these problems that you don't think can land at your front door can be right there.
Let's play it.
The disease of addiction does not discriminate.
No.
Right.
Hey, so check it out. This next song is called Silk Flowers, and we all know that person who maybe looked down upon people who were less fortunate than them, or maybe casted some extra judgment for people going through some rough situations, be it addiction or whatever. So this song is about those things that you pass so much judgment on coming back around to haunt you. It's called Silk Flowers.
Metaphors cut 'em out when you're in front of me and down in front of you. Then cut your throat and all your losses. Big business with the bosses. You wanna cut me down, sharpen your blade. You wanna cut me down, sharpen your blade. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Fresh green plots, brand new headstones in a garden where silk flowers grow. Oh, oh, when I was young, I was afraid to die. When you fall from grace, it'll change your mind. It'll change your mind. And now you cross-brained conversations moved across town. No navigation, your moral compass broke. Finally, you're one of us. Your moral compass broke. Finally, you're one of us. You're finally one of us. Finally, you're one of us. You're finally one of us. Finally, you're one of us. Oh, 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 oh. Fresh green plots, brand new headstones in a garden where silk flowers grow. Oh, oh, when I was young, I was afraid to die. When you fall from grace, it'll change your mind. My mind, my mind. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Fresh green plots, brand new headstones in a garden where silk flowers grow. Oh, oh, when I was young, I was afraid to die. When you fall from grace, it'll change your mind.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, I love it. I was watching it on my phone too, and I think the video is a little bit choppy. So everybody watching, go check it out on the YouTube. You can find it on String of Hope, but go to Sundae Drives page too to check it out. I think it sounded amazing, so people could hear the song.
It sounded really, really good.
Thank
It's
you.
incredible,
Thank
incredible tune, man. Incredible tune, and you got a gift. Your songwriting is just like top notch.
Thank you, man. Hey, I want to take a real quick second just to not even to plug, but just to say also mad props to my partner in crime, Nick Bopp. He's not here with me, but he is the other half of Sundae Drives. And not only does he have stake in these kind of subjects that we're talking about, he's been personally affected, not coming from the same perspective as me, but actually someone who has seen, people around him fall victim. but he's also just my musical brother, and I love him. He's brilliant. So yeah, shout out.
That's why you guys vibe so well. That's an amazing sound for a duet, really.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, man.
You have a great.
Yeah, the harmonies are just awesome.
I was trying to think of the right word. Harmony.
Yeah, thank you.
Harmonies.
Thank you.
I'll help you out on that one, Higgy.
Yeah. Nick does most of the hard work, man. I I write songs, and Nick will come in and help me patch things up, put things together, and he makes everything, he makes everything pretty. So
Awesome, brother. So I love the part of your story that's coming up. And I don't want to give anything away, but I'm just excited for everybody to hear kind of how it all ends up. So
what are the blessings of recovery for you?
Oh man, where do I begin?
So tie a bow on what your rock bottom was and how you came out of that and who you came out of that with.
My rock bottom was just to tie a bow on it. My rock bottom was committing felonies in every county in Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky, having court cases everywhere, capious warrants, police departments, sheriffs, detectives looking for me. My rock bottom is doing 2 back-to-back penitentiary numbers and coming home and fucking up both times, coming home and directly going back to living the wrong way. And mind you, in all of this, I had never, there'd never been a time other than incarceration where I had tried, willingly tried to get sober and tried to really kick this, other than being forced, like I said, by lock and key. When I came home from my second prison stint, what had happened was I had linked up with an old childhood friend, and she had always been there for me. She'd always, she was like that friend that, like, every time you fuck up, all of your homies that you might have taken the fall for and all kinds of shit, they're never there, man. Mm-hmm. But she was the friend that was like, I could always count on a letter from her, and it was tough love, but she was always there. And this second time coming home from my second number, she'd actually picked me up because I just wasn't to be trusted, which is, I feel so ashamed even saying that, but it's the truth. And she just believed in me to the point of almost annoyance, to the point of, like, when you're just not used to having someone who believes that you can get it right. You know what I mean? But she did. And what happened was, after that second stint, when I was back out on the street, things got scary because I was completely free. I had no parole officer to answer to. I had no papers. I had no anything. So I was living super, super reckless. Shit was getting really, really dangerous. I just didn't care about myself at all, man. And if you don't, I was a huge detriment to her safety and everyone's, and obviously my own. But she just didn't go away. And she was constantly there. We were kind of, it was just a crazy friendship of, like, just this friend who just refused to just kind of let me go off and do my own dark shit and just do what I typically do, which is fuck up and dig myself a hole. I mean, she had, like, moved into the place where I was staying to, like, try to, make me walk the straight line. And she had thrown up her own cash a couple times to get me into treatment facilities where I would walk in and literally walk right back out. I mean, I'd done some really foul shit, and I had done her wrong enough times as a friend, and knowing that I didn't have any other fucking friends in my corner, that she was begging me just one time, just this one last time, will you please just go to this facility, go to this treatment center, and just give it a fair shake. For once in your life, just commit just a little bit. And this might not be like what people want to hear, but this is, everybody's bottom is different. And I did not want to go. I got dragged, kicking and screaming. I wanted to jump out of the fucking car. And
I can relate.
Right. But something funny happened though, because because she was so up my ass about giving this a shot, and I was very worn out. I was very worn thin. And she was so fucking adamant that even dragging me, kicking and screaming, I said, fuck it. I'm just going to just give it a shot. If you will just fall back, I will give this a shot. And I did. And one day of misery turned into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And it was really crazy. And before I knew it, an entire week of my willing life had went by without poking holes in myself. And I tell people this all the time. If you can get 5, 7, 10 days, oh my God, that's what you don't know. That's what the fuck you don't know, is that if you can get 5, 7, 10 days, the human mind is a crazy thing, man. It really is, dude. Like if the timing is right,
you're starting to build momentum at that point. I'm
telling you. And because everything came together, and I had this friend who was just so fucking adamant that for the first time in my willing life, the very first time that I had ever just given it a fair shake and just half-ass tried, I got it right. And that's not for everyone. That doesn't happen to everyone. And almost a decade I had never tried. But I'm saying the one time I ever truly applied myself, and looking back on it, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't my idea. It wasn't that I was like, it wasn't that, I thought, hey, I need to do this. What I thought was, I have this friend who won't leave me the fuck alone about this, and I'm going to do it just to appease and just give this a fair shake. And I did. And what happened was I went from being the most popular drug runner in fucking Southwest Ohio, the most popular 10 million friends in fucking every small town, city, county.
Every county jail and penitentiary yard.
I mean, the most popular dude, to all of a sudden, I just had one fucking friend. I had that one friend, and it was like everything was up in smoke, and it set things into perspective to, I wasn't living. I mean, that took a week. That took less than 1 week for being one of the most popular dudes ever, even as an addict, to see it all vanish. And I had that one friend who believed in me and stood by my side throughout the restless legs and the throwing up and the kicking and the screaming and the the fucking sweating and the not sleeping for fucking 85 hours. And
so what's your clean date And what happened with that relationship with that friend?
So I have 10 plus, and I married the friend.
Congratulations.
And she's my wife.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful story.
I married her.
10 plus years.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's you're a true walking, talking miracle.
Thank you,
Yeah.
my brother.
You are the epitome of what this show is meant for.
Yeah.
You're a survivor, you're an overcomer, and you've stayed clean a substantial amount of time when you didn't believe you had a chance in hell of doing it.
I did not.
Look at you.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man.
I'm fortunate, man.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. Yeah, any friend who will, and this is something that I tell people all the time is, when people say, well, I have a friend, who, when people ask about what should I do or how should I approach a certain situation, one thing that I always say is exercise your humility, man, and never forget the power of a hug. Never forget the power of a pat on the back. Never forget the power of just looking someone in their face and just saying, "Hey, man, I believe in you, and I think you fucking got this. I'm pulling for you." Like, never undermine that kind of shit, man, because it's super, super important. And when I look back on my story, I had that friend, man. You know, like I said, I married her. She's my wife. She birthed two of my, you know, I have daughters and stuff. You know what I mean? I have a fucking credit card. It has my name on it. I didn't even steal it. It's mine. You know what I mean? You know, but that started with someone just genuinely believing in me. And yeah, so never forget that, man. And that's just, that's a lesson in treating all human beings. You know what I'm saying? But, especially people of our kind, man, you know, you just, you never know, what the power of trying to understand someone, you know what I mean? It's huge, man. It really is. It's huge. And it can, feeling misunderstood and feeling,
place.
yeah, right, man. It's super, super hard to get on track, man. So before you pass too much judgment, you know, on somebody who's going through it, you know, try to find just a little bit of, you know, I'm not even saying sympathy, maybe just empathy. You know what I mean?
You know, it only takes a second to share a kind word that may change someone's perspective for a lifetime.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen. That's what I love about you so much, Adam. You know, the first day I met you, I could just tell you were just teeming with that positivity and that love for your brother, you know, the people next to you, no matter if you know them or not.
Yeah.
You know, you could tell that you care about people genuinely.
Yeah. Well, that is factual, man. I've had people, you know, question it and be like, "Man, are you fucking like this all the time?" You know what I mean? But you know, here's the thing though. And this isn't, I'm not like boasting about this. This isn't like a, you know, like a fucking brag or anything like that. But I'm saying when you're a cat that's already had 8 lives, when you're on your last chance and you've had it changes things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I might wake up with maybe a few less things to naturally complain about than the next person, but that's because, you know, people throw this term around. They say, "Man, I shouldn't even be here right now." Well, dude, I really should be. You know what I mean?
I've lived life with a certain type of, like, yeah, man, I have a lot of gratitude. You know what I mean? Just to be able to wake up every day and be quarantined in this fucking house and breathe. You know, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm alive. Creating. You know, so that's worth, you know,
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
In your own home with your own family who love you.
No stolen credit cards, man. No stolen credit cards. Yeah, man. Yeah.
No more creeping around at night, you know, doing things you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, you know, it might not be much to other people, but I've built my own little fucking empire to me off of honesty and truth and redemption. I have, you know, and it might not be shit to anyone else, but to me, it's 100% built on honesty and truth and redemption. And every day, you know, really redeeming yourself, repenting, and just paying homage to all of your trials, all your tribulations, all your highs, your lows, your ups, your downs. You know, that shit we must not forget, man. So, you know, I have my own little kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, yeah, man, I'm blessed. You know, I feel like so.
You are. You have a life that most of us dream about. So what do you, Higgy? This is your thing. I'm curious. I'm curious, Adam, if you want to try to play a tune, man. I think there's a couple people on here I think would love to hear it. At least hear you try. I know that the audio sometimes is a little hard on these streams, but
yeah, let's give it a shot. And if it gets too crazy, if it's too crazy, man, we'll you know, you give me a fucking wink wink or a nudge nudge and I'll wrap it up.
Well, if it sounds terrible, I'll do this.
Yeah, do that. Can everyone else see you doing that, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, do that.
Yeah. just cut it out, man. It sounds terrible. No. Well, I'm gonna put you on solo. You know, one thing the jail time. What was that called? The jail time credit song. Really. I listened to that like 5 times today.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that. That song was written on that guitar I was telling you about that I would sneak out of place. I would sneak out of place to write songs for my own therapeutic just release. And I wrote the bass chords to that song. I wrote that on that dude's guitar. I would sneak out of place and this dude would let me play his guitar in this other dorm. And that's that song. So yeah, I don't know, just a little bit of history. Yeah, I'm going to try to bang one out, man. Just a little bit.
Do it. Hell yeah. Thank you, Ben, for helping me with this. We had some problems in the beginning. My computer actually crashed, but the live stream went on, so I came back in. Yeah, you were gone. I'm like, I see the live still going, so we're just going to do it. And hopefully, I'll go back and watch a little bit of it. I think it's turned out pretty great so far. Yeah, for sure. Amazing. I appreciate you letting me be on here with you, Higgy. Yeah, we got to do more stuff together. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And also, I actually appreciate you letting Ben come on as well, man. Ben is, you know, I'm not super privy to sharing details, and Ben has kind of been like my comfort zone. I've shared things with him, and now I kind of feel comfortable. And now you're in that company as well, Higgy. So
thank you. So I can't wait to meet you in person.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Give me one quick second here, guys.
Got some crazy tuning going on there, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit of custom tuning. Capo on 4.
Nice.
Can you hear that, Ben?
Yeah, it sounds beautiful.
Duh.
Yeah.
Track marks are constant reminders of the time I almost came back and fought harder. Track marks are constant reminders of the time I almost came back and fought harder. Track marks are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought hard. Track marks, they are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought harder. Track marks are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought harder. Track marks are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought harder. Track marks, they are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought harder. I fought harder. I fought harder. Front page news on the Times, 'cause it goes when times get hard. Don't forget, front page news on the Times, 'cause it goes when times get hard. Don't forget, we don't forget. We don't forget, we don't forget. We don't forget, we don't forget. That track marks, they are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought harder. Track marks are constant reminders of the time I lost, came back, and fought harder. I lost, came back, I lost, came back, I lost, came back, I lost, came back, lost, came back, and fought harder. I lost, came back, and fought harder. Yeah. I lost, came back, and fought harder. I lost, came back, and fought hard. I lost, came back, and fought harder. Yeah. Thanks a bunch.
Bud,
Thank
Bud.
you so much for that.
that was beautiful, man.
That's a song that has like it has like 8 lyrics, but me and Nick, we were actually out on tour, and I showed it to him, and I said, "Hey man, I got this thing," and I said it's just a piece of a song, and I showed it to him, and he was like, "Nah, that's a fucking song. That's a whole song."
That's it.
And
That's all it needs.
I was like, "Yeah, but it only has 7 lyrics." He's like, "No, it's a good 7 lyrics. It doesn't matter."
Right. It's very it's almost like a meditation. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love you, man. I love your heart. Love your soul.
I love you, man. I really do. You've been a fucking light in my life, man, since I've met you, man. You're incredible. And I want to thank you. Doesn't matter, publicly, privately, whatever. I want to thank you for introducing me to Higgy and just showing me. I mean, it's probably not the cool thing to admit, but dude, I honestly, man, I feel like I'm pretty in tune and tapped in with recovery culture. I don't just talk the talk, man. I walk the walk. But you showing me Higgy's platforms and what he's tied into. I mean, man, dude, it's a real fucking communal thing, man. And I really appreciate it, man. I'm dead serious, man. Like seeing what Higgy has going on and all of these, all of this, we're all fighting, man. We're all fighting. It's a common war, man. And it's, there's a power in these type of things, man.
Right. We're stronger together.
Yeah, man.
We are. We need each other. We feed off each other's energy. And sometimes we only need just a string of hope.
Oh,
Boom.
man, I'm telling you what.
Boom. I love it.
Medicine Music, man. Go check out Sundae Drives, SUNDAE. Check out Sundae Drives. Anywhere you stream music, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to go, man. Tap in.
Yeah, and we'll keep doing stuff like this, Adam, because your music has to get out there because I just know for me it brings so much hope, and there's got to be other people out there like me.
Me too.
So we're gonna keep doing stuff like this, brother. We're gonna get it out there.
Appreciate y'all, man. I love you guys. All right, you hear me? We're brothers, man. Love you guys, man. We get better, man. We get better out here.
That's right.
Thank you, Ben, for saving me tonight.
I'm glad you had me, man. It's an honor. It's an honor for sure.
Thank you again, Adam. Sundae Drives. Check them out. You have a Facebook page, YouTube.
All of it.
You know, it's amazing. Just check it out and listen to it, and I'm pretty sure you'll be listening to more of it. I'm looking forward to your new material coming out.
Thank you, man.
And we'll just jump back on here again sometime, and we'll just chop it up about recovery and talk.
I love it. I love it.
You know, 10 years, man. That's so impressive and inspirational. And after hearing where you've come from, I just feel a bond with you now because I've been
so much, bro.
Been there.
Thank you, man.
Awesome.
All right. I love you all. Thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out, sharing, loving on each other in the comments. You know, there's a lot of magic that happens in the comments over here.
That's
and once again, so you guys go check out A String of Hope. It's got a lot of inspirational content. Check out the YouTube page as well. Follow them, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys again tomorrow night. Thanks, you guys. You guys have a fantastic night. I love you all. Good night.
Good night.